Hey, Inspired Tribe, how's it going? Welcome to the Live Inspired live stream here on the Inspired channel. It is Thursday, November 19th, 2000 and crazy, 2000 and transformation, 2020. This is live stream number 111. Guys, we wanted to applaud you. We wanted to say thank you. We wanted to spread a little bit of the holiday spirit already. We're in the Christmas spirit. We're completely, almost fully decorated. It's always a kind of a week-long operation here at the Inspired Tribe headquarters. It takes a while to get everything out, but we're doing it. We're having fun. We're decorating, and today it's story time. Today we want to share an amazing success story. One of our favorites to tell. It's beautiful. It's all encompassing. It spreads over many decades, actually. It spreads over decades. I mean, think about it. That's how cool this is. So thanks for tuning in. Please hit the like button. We're healthy, we're wealthy, we're whole, and we're free. We're excited that you're here with us. And I just decided to sit back here today in the comfy chair where I like to either edit videos or read something, or just chill out and us here. Hey, Agnieszka. So just sit back. Hey, Black Sky, just sit back, just relax, and enjoy this. Okay, we're gonna go back in time with this story today. Just waiting for a few more people to jump on. And what's the significance of telling your story? That's something that is very important. So before we dive into our success story, I want to remind you that basically every story in your life is a success story. If it right now ends on a sour note, if you feel like one of your stories doesn't have a beautiful ending, add a chapter, because that's a success chapter. You've either overcome something, something has come together, something has manifested, something has synchronized. So your story is super powerful. Tell your success stories, share them, add another chapter, live another chapter, and then, tell the whole story. So I'm going to rewind into my teenage years. I used to be a professional alpine skier. That was back in Europe. And in my teenage years, we were out on a circuit 200, 220, 30, 40 days out of the year. In winter, of course, competing, in summer training, but we were out and about all the time. And one of the things that we loved doing, especially me and my coach back then, we would, love listening to country music, long road trip, 6, 7, 8 hours at a time. And so we were probably unicorns, riding around Central Europe from one race during winter, just listening to our favorite songs was Garth Brooks's Friends in Low Places. Now, some of you might not know who Garth Brooks is. I forgive you. It's okay, I guess. I mean, just one of the biggest country stars of all times. 200+ million albums sold, biggest sold out shows. He sells out every tour. But if you don't know who he is, it's okay. You've been educated. Go look him up later. Listen to his music. One of the important country music makers of all time. So we would listen to that song. And I remember back in the day in the car singing along, man. And I was always making music, always writing songs. So I was thinking to myself, one day I want to be, in Nashville where country music is made. I want to write songs. I want to write with the people who wrote, Friends in Low Places. I want to be one of them. And fast forward many years, we live in Nashville. I am writing songs. I am in country music. I'm doing those things. But this is just a small part of the story. Hold on. Sit back. Relax. This is getting better. As the story unfolds, it's getting better. So a few years back, one of my favorite festivals that I get invited to every year is the Blast on the Bay Festival down in a little town called Port St. Joe in Florida on the Forgotten Coast. One of the most magical things. This year it didn't happen, unfortunately, but we love this festival. And the second year that I got invited, Kristin and I decided months before that, it happens in October, that we were going to bring the whole family and kind of make it a vacation, because it's right on the beach, beautiful, perfect fall weather in October, still warm but not hot, and we just wanted to bring the kids there. And Port St. Joe, I shouldn't say this out loud, it's a magical, magical, magical place. As a matter of fact, Cape San Blas, that's the little peninsula that's right attached to Port St. Joe. Gorgeous, gorgeous place. And so we decided to bring the kids, go as a family, come a little early, stay a little late, and kind of make it a whole thing. And as the date came closer, on the outside, things didn't look like they were coming together really well. All of the moving part and bits and pieces were still not together, and we just weren't sure that it was going to happen. And so we just decided in our hearts and our minds, we just said, this is all going to work out perfectly. The town was really booked up, so we didn't know that we were going to have enough space at the hotel for everyone, and just a lot of question marks that we didn't pay any attention to. Because, and here's the thing, just thinking about this place in Florida, just thinking about the festival puts us in a magical mind space. It's like Wonderland. It feels so good that nothing can make us unfeel the goodness of it. So we just basically just decided this is going to happen. We reserved a rental car, something that was a little bigger than what we had at the time, so the whole family would be comfortable. It's kind of like a standard SUV thing that we reserved. And we just decided this was going to be smoothly, everything was going to turn out perfectly fine. And so I think it was the day before we were about to go down there, the morning, things were still not perfectly coming together on the outside. We were still, we still said, no, we're packing up. We're just sticking with our intuition here. And so that morning, and now I want you to really pay attention. It's really important from here on out. That morning, Kristin received the package with sneakers, new sneakers, and as she tried them on, I didn't really pay attention. She comes around the corner, and they were really pink. And so she looks at me, those pink sneakers on, and says, "Well, what do you think? It's something different. I've never had that color before." And I look at her, and I said, "Sweetie, you look like Barbie." And it felt so weird when I said it, because I never say Barbie. I never compare anyone to Barbie. I don't even know where it came from. I just said it, and she kind of looked at me and just, okay. We went about our day. And we said, well, we need to pick up some stuff. So we decided to go and go to Kristin's favorite store in the world. Wherever we go, when they have it there, we need to stop first. It's Marshall's. For those of you who don't know it, it's basically almost a one-stop shop. Everything from Christmas decorations, bathing suits, makeup, mugs, scented candles, and there's everything. So we drive down the road. It's about 15 minutes, 20 minutes from our place. We pull at Marshall's. I'm at that particular moment, I'm looking at the big blue letters, Marshall's. My phone rings, and on my phone, on the screen, it says Lynn Marshall. Not kidding you, that very second. I'm like, oh, that's good timing. Lynn Marshall is the lady, wonderful lady. If you're watching, Lynn, how are you doing? Wonderful lady who runs the festival down in Port St. Joe. One of the people who puts it on. Just a wonderful, amazing human being. And she calls me and says, "Listen, we have a kind of a problem here with getting the rooms for you guys. I know you want to bring the family, and the hotel didn't get back to me, and I think they overbooked." So I'm starting to think, oh, it's not good. It's really, really not good. And then she says, and I just got a call 10 minutes ago. And this lady, she has 2 houses here in the area. One she rents out, one she lives in. And she would really like to donate the rental house to one of the songwriters who's bringing a bigger party. And I was thinking of you, Jean, she said, because you're bringing your family. I thought it would be a perfect fit. And I just, didn't really get all the details. So I'm like, yeah, house would be really good. How much is she charging? And she said, no. She wants to donate. So basically, she wants to contribute to the festival, give it to one of the songwriters free of charge and their family. So I said, wow, I was in the car. Kristin had already gone into the store, and I was really touched and moved just by such generosity and kindness. And I was like, and Lynn said, I know we wanted to work out the hotel for you guys, and we can probably make it happen if I make more calls. I was wondering if you'd rather stay at a house, a couple, steps away from the beach, or do you want to be at the hotel in town? I said, Lynn, that's a really tough decision that I got to make here. Now, I'm 99% certain that we want to stay at the beach house, and we're so appreciative of this woman's kindness. But I do have to check back with Kristin just to make sure, that's what we do. We talk things. And I said, but what I'm curious, who is this lady? Who's this amazing being that is doing that and just, donating her house to a perfect stranger? And she said, well, that's the sweetest lady, and her name is Barbie. I just about dropped my phone at that moment in time when I realized I had called Kristin Barbie that morning. I've never called her that before. 2 hours later, a lady named Barbie, which I don't know any other Barbie, ever, have never known any other Barbie. This all is happening in the Marshall's parking lot while Lynn Marshall is calling me. So lots and lots of synchronicities. So I was completely, just stunned, just excited about all the beautiful synchronicities. So I hang up with Lynn. I walk into the store. I tell Kristin the whole story. We get really excited. We feel the magic that's once again upon us with this town, with this festival. Everything's magically coming together. We have tears in our eyes. And I think we lost track of time. I called Lynn back. I confirmed. I said, we'd love to take the house. Please give me the lady's number. I'd like to thank her. We do all of that. And I look at the time and I think, shoot, we completely lost track of time. We were scheduled to pick up our rental car, and we were too far away to make it in time. So I called the rental company and said, we lost track of time. We're going to be late for the pickup. Can you please make sure that they keep our car there so we don't get there and we don't have a car? And they just said, well, I can't guarantee you'll get the same car. We'll do what we can. Just make it here as soon as possible. So I'm thinking, okay, one part's come together. Now, could it be that the other part is not coming together? At any rate, we trust the process. We make our way to the rental company. We walk in there. I give them my reservation number, tell them my name, looks into the system, types into the computer, looks it up, says, I'm really sorry, but what you have reserved, this standard SUV, isn't available anymore. They just gave it to someone else. Now, here's what we can do for you. We can upgrade you to a premium luxury SUV, the big one, the biggest SUV they have, which we happen to love. And she said, and we can do this free of charge for you. So I am grinning like from ear to ear, not thinking, universe, you're putting this together so deliciously. It's amazing, right? Amazing. So because we were Barbie and Lynn Marshall and the house that we were, beach house that we were going to stay at, we lost track of time, which in turn we were rewarded for by the most amazing, beautiful, huge luxury SUV free of charge. Amazing, amazing. So we get all excited. We pack up, we make our way down there, everything smoothly, everything perfectly. It was not a Black Sky. Was it a Chevy Suburban? No, we love the Suburban. No, it was the Expedition, the extended version of the Expedition, so the big one. And we make our way down there. It's just gorgeous weather. We arrive. We meet with Barbie. She's this really amazing life of the party lady who has since transitioned. So Barbie, you might be here with us now because we're thinking of you. And so Barbie might be with us listening wherever she is right now, but she's probably singing along to a country song somewhere. So we arrive and it's beautiful weather. We make our way to the beach. The house is perfect. Everything works out perfectly. And the next day, there's this big welcoming ceremony. All the songwriters get together. All the schedules are being handed out. We get to sign all the programs for the guests, for the people, for the ticket holders and whatnot. It's a meet and greet, really. And then I see that there was a change in the scheduling of the festival. And for the next night, I was supposed to play with two friends from Nashville that I know. Most of the people there are from Nashville that come down there. I was supposed to play with two friends, and I just saw that there was a change in schedule. I didn't really realize. I just part of the rescheduling. And so the next day, I show up at a different venue than I was scheduled to play, and I didn't really know who I was going to play with because you play in rounds, 3 songwriters at a time that share the stage and take turns playing songs. So as we make our way to the stage, I realize, I look around me, I realize that that night I was going to share the stage with a man called Earl Bud Lee. Now, if you remember the beginning of the story, I told you I was riding around Central Europe from one ski race to another, listening to country music, especially loving a song called Friends in Low Places, which was written by no other than Earl Bud Lee. And if you remember, I back then sent out the wish that one day I was going to be a part of the Nashville scene here and writing songs with people that wrote these huge hits. So here I am on stage having a complete flashback, surreal, synchronistic moment. This is spanning over decades, guys. Sitting on stage, and next to me is Earl Bud Lee, who has written some of the biggest hits in country music history. Such a fun character, such a loving, warm-hearted guy. And we started playing, and after I played my second song that night, he leans over and said, "I really love your songs, man. We should write sometime." Which is basically that's how you're being tapped in the songwriting scene. When someone like Earl Bud Lee says we should write sometimes, that's like the biggest thing that a big songwriter can say to you. So I'm having this flashback moment, and I'm starting to tell my story before I play my next song, just because everything has just come together in this perfect synchronicity. Guys, I'm talking decades of God, the universe, source, lining up things for a kid that was somewhere in Italy in the middle of the night, driving to his next competition, singing along to a song, sending out this idea, this wish, this vision. One day, write, play, record country music with the biggest hit makers. And the universe brings it all together in this perfect synchronicity. Now, I haven't even mentioned the smaller details. There's a magic in this town that once we enter this town, things start going so smoothly, so perfectly. It's weird. Whenever we're there, we're in the flow, we're in the zone. We are welcomed with the most beautiful smiles and most wonderful people. Basically, we are pretty much everywhere we go, everything's taken care of for us. We don't really have to lift a finger. I go on stage, I play my songs, I share my stories. It's the most wonderful, wonderful, wonderful thing. And this week just kept on getting better, more synchronicities, everything coming together perfectly, effortlessly. And here's the thing. If you can tell me how that works, how Source brings it about, that a plan is being played out over decades and comes together with such perfection, beauty, synchronicity. I don't know how it works. I don't need to know. You don't need to know. What you need to know is that your dreams, your visions, your desires have power. Your dreams are powerful. They are ringing out into the universe. They are creating life stories in advance. They're creating events in advance. All of this was created in the invisible realm. All of this has played out in the physical reality in the most wonderful way. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. You cannot script it. You cannot design it because it is beyond comprehension for us in our physical experience. But source, universe, it works effortlessly. And we can tell you this is just one of those super synchronistic stories where even within the big moments, there were smaller moment by moment by moment by moment things that happen, people that we meet, new friends that we make, answers that we receive, gifts that we receive. It all comes together when you allow it. And what we need to understand in our journey is that the more we focus on inspired actions in the moment, the clearer we become in this journey. We don't have to know the exact plan and the house of how it's going to happen. As a matter of fact, the more we focus on the house too much, we interfere with the perfect plan. So it has to reroute. It's kind of like when you take your GPS and you want the shortest, fastest route, and you keep making wrong turns. It needs to reroute. It's still going to get you there, but not in the, on the path of least resistance, because you're interfering. Because when you type it in, you should better trust it, or not type it in at all. And so this story is always such a beautiful reminder to us and to everyone we tell it to, that nothing is ever lost in the universe. If it is your dream, if it is your intention, if it is your desire, if it's in your heart, it needs to be authentic. That's the only requirement here. We're not talking about ego wishes. We're not talking about envy wishes, where you see someone who has something and you want to have it too just because they have it. That's not authentic. I'm talking about the kid that has no idea how these things would come about, doesn't know the slightest bit about the country music scene in terms of who the songwriters are and how all of this works. Just a dream, just a vision, just a desire, ends up decades later on stage, living this dream out in real time in one of the most beautiful places on the planet, gets to share it with his wife and kids right there, living magic in real time. And this has happened over and over and over again. And it is probably happening now. You're probably living through a magical moment, not realizing until the pieces come together so you can see it in hindsight and go, this was perfection all along the way, perfection. That's what this story is about. And those success stories, you have them. You might not know it right now, but maybe after, and it'll be a story like that. And don't you know it, that all of these synchronicities came together in a super short period of time, a few days, but they were prepared. They've been prepared for years and decades, gestating, becoming, literally becoming. That's the power of your story. That's the power of your dream. That's the power of your desire. Now you can dismiss it if you want to. It will still happen. You can call it coincidence if you want to. Then look up what the word coincidence really means. This is how Source, God, the universe works. And if you give yourself, as the co-creator that you are, to Source, if you invite it in and give yourself to that process, that's when the magic starts to happen. That's when the synchronicities start to happen. That's when you are ready to tell your story, and you have them. You have them. So this is one of our absolute favorite stories to tell because of the high volume synchronicities in a short period of time, and it's breathtaking to see, even now, to look back and see how it was all brought together. So that was my story for today, my success story. Let me see what you guys are saying in the comments. Scroll up. I see a lot of hearts today. That's beautiful. That's a beautiful ribbon behind you. Yes, that's Christine put it all up, and we decorated it, as I said before, and it's becoming really, really Christmassy around here. Let go and let God. Yes, indeed. Let me see. Black Sky says, I love when things like that come together. That is so cool. I love synchronicities. Yes, and really, they happen all the time. We just don't realize that they're happening all the time. Let me see. Siobhan says, in the vortex, baby. That's when magic happens. Yes, indeed. Truly vortex all the way. Rose says, I'm from Nashville and still live in Nashville and don't really like country. That's okay, Rose. Nobody's perfect. I'm making jokes about this. It's okay. You don't like country music. It's kind of like with country music. It's kind of like the story when Jesus says, I'm ready. When you're ready to accept me into your heart, when you're ready to accept Christ or source, whatever you want to call it, in your heart, I'm ready. If you're not ready and want to figure things out on your own, that's okay. Go ahead. When you're ready, I will still be here. And then we'll do it together. And that's kind of like with country music. People say, I don't like country music. And I say, country music's going to be here. When you're ready, and you will be, one day, you'll hear a song, you'll hear a life story in 3 minutes. You'll see it's 3.5-minute movies. A good country song is a 3.5-minute movie where you fall into it, you hear the story, you feel the feelings, you're completely in it for 3.5 minutes, and you hear a complete life story. That'll happen. The day will come where you hear your country song and you'll realize it's the greatest genre in the world. I'm completely unbiased. Can't you tell? Emma says, I am loving this. It is a story to love. I'm telling you this. Rose says, detachment from outcome. I was reading about that this morning. The universe knows what our dreams are. Yes, that's maybe one thing too. And that's been said so many times by so many teachers and people and masters and Abraham and EUCY and everyone. We think that we need to repeat it to the universe, to God all the time, because apparently we think God is a forgetful being, that when we express our true heart's desire, which was really put there by source, when we express it, when we become clear about it, that somehow we need to keep repeating it so source won't forget it. And I think Rose made a good point here. The universe knows what our dreams are. Absolutely. It's a vibrational thing. Very, very good point. So Creative Diamond, cool name, by the way, says, I used to do, thanks for sharing. I love how Abraham says the manifestation is happening in each moment. Boom. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing this. It is so true. Wonderful. So much for your beautiful comments. Also, on behalf of, both Christine and I, of course, we like to thank you. A lot of you have gotten started on your Christmas shopping and ordered your shirts and your hoodies and your mugs and all the things in the Inspired Tribe merch store. And as I said before, Christine put up her beautiful Christmas designs if you want something Christmas themed, and it's still very vortexy, which we love. But there's a lot of other beautiful, beautiful designs and sayings, and we love it's kind of the slogan, wear your inspiration. I just think it's a beautiful thing. I love it when I go out and I see an inspired shirt, I see someone who wears it, something snap where you're at and just reminds you of a beautiful message. And that's kind of what all shirts are about. Love wins. Beautiful, beautiful messages. you can be the spreader of those messages, of course, by virtue of your light and your soul. That you don't need a shirt for that. But if you want to wear your inspiration on a shirt, please check out the Inspired merch store. And as I said before, because of all the restrictions and everything that's going on, shipping times might be slightly longer than usual. So if you want to get started, carpe diem, seize the day, do it now, so you'll get what you desire in time. Also, we had a fantastic, I want to a shout out to our membership members. We had a fantastic membership call last night. Big, huge leaps that are happening right now in the membership.
Great EUCY session.
A wonderful EUCY session as well, which we need to understand the concept of EUCY, the concept of all these communication with higher consciousness. It only asking the questions, that's really how this communication works. So for those of you who've never experienced the EUCY session, there's plenty of live streams where we talk to EUCY. You can just look them up in the live stream playlist. You can go to our website. You can even book a one-on-one session to ask your question in private with EUCY, which a lot of people have done. And that's usually a quantum leap. That's usually where the journey really kicks off. The membership has been so expensive lately. We're just totally amazed by the huge leaps that our wonderful tribe members are making week by week by week. Beautiful expansion, and just wonderful to watch. So we wanted to thank you for being a part of it, and those of you who want to do it, it's really easy. And it was our intention, Kristin and I intended it to be something that would be accessible for people and would be affordable for people. So it's a monthly membership fee of $69 for, every Wednesday night we jump on a call. Now, we've said it before, once, if there's enough interest from a different time zone, we can add a second call at a different time. But now it's 7 p.m. Central Standard, so at night here in the US. And it's a call that we do every week. We have a monthly session with EUCY. You get access to all the previous calls because you get a link to the playlist where they're all on there. And so this is kind of, for the lack of a better term, it creates a beautiful atmosphere of going together, almost something like accountability, and just a beautiful movement forward. We do practices, we do exercises, we do rituals, we do meditations, we answer questions. It's just a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful thing. And last but not least, if you are ready to kind of make a big, huge leap before the end of the year, before Christmas rolls around, we'll start a Inspired One Empower Yourself live course on Tuesday. So a few days from today, sign up now. It's a live course. It goes for 4 weeks. It's some homework, some fun times, how we call it, and it's gonna definitely, it's a springboard for transformation. That's what it's about. So send us an email or check it out on our website, inspiredchannel.net, and just browse a little and see if you're inspired to join for one of those things. The motto is authenticity, empowerment, inspiration, love. Those are kind of the pillars of all of these courses. It's really about getting into the zone of authenticity, who you really are, because that sets everything else free. We do not focus on showing you, how to manifest this quickly, because we have learned one thing: when we're so focused on manifesting, which we tend to fall more out of sync than we fall in sync. When we show you how to be your authentic self, who you you decided to be before you came here, when you live that purpose, the other things fall into place, because then it's aligned, then it's centered, then it's focused. That's really the intention for our courses, for our membership calls. And then beautiful things begin to happen so effortlessly. One of our members shared yesterday, just not even realizing how much she has manifested of, effortlessly. And just by talking about it, it became clear that she was the creator of all those magical experiences, which is amazing. And this happens every week now. So just an open to, be on the journey with you, guide you a little bit, inspire you. Tribe, thank you for being here. Thank you for being with us. We love you. We appreciate you. Check out all the links in the description. And this is it from us for this week. We'll be here again on Monday, 2 p.m. Central Standard, right here on the Inspire channel. Come join us. Bring your friends, bring your family, bring them to the tribe. We welcome everyone. Thank you so much, and have a blessed and wonderful